Hello, this is Pastor Mike. Greetings to all of our City Circle groups and our leaders. We thank God for you, thank God for your leaders, and appreciate what's going on in our small groups. And we're just praying and believing for God to bring more connections, deeper connections, a greater reach in how we connect together as a church, that we could be a church that doesn't just have small group, but that it's a church with of small groups with intimacy and fellowship on a high level. So today is the first day of a video that you're going to show together with your groups, and it's to help lead the discussion based on Sunday's message, where we talked about your spiritual health and the need to be close to God. Because the closer you are to God, the better things are going to work in your life. And the further you're from God, the more trouble you're going to have. It's just a basic truth. And as we looked at it, we looked at the story of the prodigal son, and we saw four key areas where he, first of all, got fed up. Because you have to get fed up with where you're at or what you're doing before you'll go on in your life. And then he owned up. You have to take responsibility, because in taking responsibility, you understand that you can change your life. You know, a lot of people try to change their behavior by going at the behavior. But the reality is that we act the way we act mostly out of our feelings. You know, we're very emotionally based people. And the way we feel is contingent on the way we think. Because how you think determines how you feel determines how you behave. But you can't change behavior by just a focus on the behavior or the action. You have to go back to your thinking. And the way that we learned from week 1 is that you transform your life through a renewed mind, through new thinking. And when you change your thinking, you change your feelings. When you change your feelings, you change your behavior. And this is vital to us in the Christian life. Now, the thing that we're going to look at today in the small groups, and if you have the handout from Sunday, we have on the back page 7 habits of spiritual people, and so in these 7 habits, what it really represents is you know that we're a people who are highly aware of our physical health. You know, so whenever we have any physical discomfort, physical sickness, we run to the doctor and we get some kind of diagnosis, and then there's some form of treatment. And in that thing, the thing doctors tell us is that a really vital key to physical health is to stay ahead of the game. In other words, go have regular checkups. Go have yourself checked out on a regular basis, an annual physical, because the principle is early detection can save it can save your life. Well, what about a spiritual assessment? Why is it that we think that, you know, we give our hearts to Christ one day and all of a sudden, you know, we're good for eternity? Because the fact of the matter is, many of us have given our hearts to the Lord, but time and circumstances, situations, relationships have exposed us to various diseases, and spiritually we need a checkup. And so it's important we take time, and that's what's on this back page. So this week in your group, we're going to look at this. The memory verse for this week is based out of 2 Corinthians 5:17. It says, "This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. This old life is gone and a new life has begun." And the critical part of that is to walk out your new life. But you know as well as I do that it's really easy to let the old life creep back in. We can even let old hurts rise back up. We can let old habits come back and take hold of us. And the real essence of our Christian life is to keep walking out this newness, because it should go brighter and brighter, glory to glory, as the scripture says. But think about it. How many of you would say that you have the same love and fire and passion for God today that you did, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? You know, some of you, if you're honest with yourself, you go, yeah, I still go to church, but it's just not as exciting or meaningful as it used to be. I'm just not getting as much out of it. Spiritual life is about what takes place here. Solomon said, keep your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. All the issues that we face are heart issues that come out of us. You can't blame others for your condition. You can't say, if my wife was more spiritual, I'd be a better man. It doesn't work that way. Your call is to be the man or to be the woman God called you to be, irrespective of your circumstances. And so what you have to do is you have to intend to grow. You have to intend to stay healthy. You have to do the things that you need to do to fight off infections or spiritual diseases, because just as sure as there are physical diseases, there are spiritual diseases that the Bible talks clearly about. Hard hearts and unforgiveness and a sharp tongue and ungratefulness, and I mean there's a host of spiritual infections, spiritual diseases that would love to attach themselves to your life, and they just eat the life out of you, and you're still going through the motions outwardly, but inwardly you're dry and you're hungry and you become frustrated, and like that prodigal son, hopefully you get fed up and say, I don't want to feel this way anymore, and you start pressing and going into the Father and back to the Father's heart and the Father's house. And so I want to say this to you and lead you in this, and when I go off the screen here, you're going to discuss this, and I want you to look at these 7 areas of spiritually healthy people that you have to do a checkup on. Number 1, check up on your love for God. Are you loving God supremely? Is your life about God? Because in order for that to happen, you got to get over you. You got to get your eyes off of you. And then you're going to go through that in each thing. And number 2 is, are you meeting with Jesus daily? Are you spending time in the Word and spending time in prayer? If all you're getting from the Word and the only time you pray is when you come to church, you're failing. I've got to move along here. Number 3 talks about studying and doing the Word of God, and assess yourself there. And number 4, am I tithing? Am I giving? You say, what does that have to do with my spiritual health? It has everything to do, because Jesus taught us where your heart is, there will your treasure be. And you have to assess, is my heart and my treasure being laid up in the things of God? Number 5 is, am I loving others? Am I walking out love in my daily life? Do I trust others? Do I share with others? And that's something that you need to ask yourself, because if you have a hardness or an edge toward people, that's a heart issue. And so number 6, are you serving unselfishly? The greatest way to find liberty and blessing in your life is to lay yours down and serve somebody else, and just assess yourself there. Are you sharing the gospel with people? Sharing the good news. People are lost, and I wonder where our heart is when we can let people pass us by and go on, even go to hell. But we get upset if somebody cuts in front of us or takes our place that we feel should have been ours. There's something, again, that has to be checked in our heart. Now, secondly, in the group thing, what's important, I think, is to find somebody, a buddy, a partner, a confidant, and ask them for their take for you. How do you think I'm doing in the loving God department? How do you feel like I'm doing in the serving department? How do you feel like, is there some things you see in me that that you see me failing or coming up short, ask somebody. I know that's hard. That's even risky. But this is how you go to a doctor and say, "Doctor, what's wrong with me?" Go to a friend and say, I've been frustrated, or I'm struggling. Can you help me? Do you see what's going on? And again, and hopefully that in love we're here to help each other. We're here to encourage each other. That we're not here to take shots at each other. We're here to encourage one another, exhort one another, and get each other in a place of healthiness. So that's our purpose. And this is how you grow. This is what believers do in community on a regular basis. You take these assessments. Don't wait until you're sick. Don't wait until your life is blowing up and things are going all to pieces in your life. Do this now, because this could save your life. Early detection of a toxic thought, a bad attitude, taken care of now, can save you from so much damage and destruction. And so, this is what this is about. Do an assessment on your spiritual health. I have some questions here on that front cover. It says, in what ways have you chosen to grow? You see, spiritual growth is not automatic. It's a choice. You got to choose to grow. So look around the room and see how you can help others in their choices. How can I pray for you? How can I encourage you? How can I be there for you? Because I need you to be there for me. Because my heart is to grow. My heart is to be fruitful. My heart is to be the very best expression of who God has made me. And that's the beauty of doing life together. And I thank God for your leaders. Appreciate them. But don't just say it. Here's how you show your appreciation: by your participation. Bring friends in. Grow your group. Grow your group by growing spiritually. Grow your group by bringing new people in. God has so much for you and for your group. And I'm so excited to be a part of challenging you to grow together. So take this time, share together, ask these questions. Why do you think these groups are important? Those three questions on the front cover of the page are important questions that I'd like you to take, share together, talk them out, pray together, and we'll see you next week when we take to the part 2 of this and we do another assessment and set goals in our life. And visit us on citypoint.tv throughout the week and stay connected, because this is how you're going to get a lot of information and a lot of help and a lot of what you need to be a part of what God's doing here. God bless you.